Urushi is known in the West as lacquer, but I really want to start using the word urushi more and more because lacquer is so many other things to so many other people. Urushi is a kind of it's a kind of poison oak. So we're all familiar with the term lemons to lemon juice or lemons to lemonade. Well, Japanese were able to turn poison oak into the most beautiful, the most durable finishing surface product in the world for the past 7,000 years. So we're going to delve into that. This tree, this urushi tree, grows everywhere from India through Southeast Asia up through China to Japan, Korea and Japan. And it's so one reason why I want to make a clear distinction about what urushi is, if you look at 200 grams of urushi cost about $83. 200 grams of the kind of urushi you could get at Home Depot costs $2.40. So there's a reason why. One is a chemical that has limited properties that can make something shiny for a relatively short period of time. Urushi is something where you can preserve something for 7,000 years. So that, and with a luster and a hardness which is unrivaled even by the finish on the finest automobiles. So we prefer the word urushi to lacquer. So the tree is harvested. This is a tree which grows, it takes about 10 to 15 years to have a mature tree. It's harvested one time and it only produces 200 grams or 6 ounces in its whole life. So it's very, very precious. And it's harvested with making these striations in the trunk. And then the precious urushi is collected in buckets. And all the urushi from each grove, commercial grove, will be placed in one bucket and sent to a dealer. And these would be the buckets that the dealer receives. So the amazing thing about urushi is that every grove produces trees with a slightly different characteristic of urushi. So some dry fast, some dry slow, some are good with high humidity, some are better with lower humidity, some are great for outdoor function, some are for indoor function, some has great clarity, some have great gloss. It's all over the place. So when the urushi dealer receives all the urushi from many, many places all over Japan, each one in these separate buckets, they have to test each one. So this is a test. Each bucket is tested, and for day after day, they are tested there to see how fast they're drying, how clear they are, how murky they are. And so from one orchard, that bucket is poured into one bucket here. And this is what it looks like, the raw urushi, when it is collected before it has been processed in any way. And then it's placed in another vat, and the impurities are removed, and it's worked so that the coating becomes denser, smoother, so all the particles are homogenized. Then it's placed in another vat, and it's stirred and it's stirred and it's stirred, and they remove excess water by applying heat. And they also, and this adjusts the viscosity. This makes this stickiness, which can be adjusted to different levels, and the drying time as well. And they also add a little bit of iron, and this creates a chemical reaction which removes the water. And then it's placed in these buckets for up to 3 days. Then it's tested again. And all that is, every bucket from every orchard or grove is meticulously what happens is, it's it's tested for glossiness. It's tested for all these things. And for an artist or a craftsperson will place an order. And this is the most bespoke process on the planet. Someone's making something and they need urushi coating. So they contact the dealer and they say, I want something that dries medium speed in June in a medium humidity. I need something that has a high gloss facility and something that I'm going to use outside. So the dealer will blend the exact kind of properties for that person. And it's just, this is one of the reasons why there's no place in the world that goes to this extent, this level of attention to detail to make those extraordinary surfaces, which are different from each piece to each piece. And we're going to be seeing those. So 7,000 years ago, this is a 7,000-year-old comb that's coated in urushi in Japan. This is a 3,000-year-old basket. Now, as we know, a basket is made from bamboo or reeds, and it's not, maybe it'll last a few hundred years, but it's very, very, it's really miraculous that it would last 3,000 years. And that is because it is coated with urushi.